She was the Kennedy sister who married Hollywood and paid the price. From Rat Pack nights and Marilyn's final phone call to 10 grandchildren born under the longest shadow in American celebrity, this is the turbulent story of Patricia Pat Kennedy Lawford and her descendants. Ready? 1954. Camelot marries Hollywood. On April 24, 1954, John F. Kennedy's worldly sister, Pat, married British-born MGM actor Peter Lawford at St. Thomas More in New York. The match joined America's most political dynasty with the glamour of Hollywood. Their Malibu home became a parade of names. Frank Sinatra, Judy Garland, and even Marilyn Monroe were regular guests. During John F. Kennedy's presidential campaign, Lawford became the go-between, connecting Sinatra and the Kennedys. In May 1962, he emceed Monroe's sultry Happy Birthday performance at Madison Square Garden, and according to multiple reports, Peter spoke with Marilyn just hours before her death, a rumor that has never been disproven. The children of Pat and Peter grew up where campaign pins and movie scripts shared the same living room. Was it a life of glamour, or a world where fame came with a curse? The separation, the divorce, and the cost. Behind the polished smiles, the marriage was falling apart. Peter's drinking, womanizing, and cocaine use were spiraling out of control. After JFK's assassination in 1963, Pat's faith and family loyalty could no longer hide the chaos at home. In 1965, she filed for legal separation, and by February 1966, the divorce was final, making her one of the few divorced Catholics in the Kennedy clan, a shocking move at the time. Friends said Pat had reached her breaking point after Peter's public humiliations and rumored affairs with actresses like Dolores Hart and Patricia Seton, who later became his wife. She reportedly told a confidant, "I married charm and came home to chaos." In later years, Pat fought her own demons, alcoholism and cancer of the tongue and throat, yet she never withdrew from public life. She co-founded the John F. Kennedy Library, organized arts programs, and raised funds for addiction treatment centers. Her final years were marked by quiet dignity. When she passed in 2006 at age 82, those close to her said she was the last of the gentle Kennedys, the sister who refused to give up, even after the world did. Peter Lawford. After Pat, Sinatra's Wrath, 4 marriages, and Ashes at Sea. After the divorce, Peter Lawford's downfall accelerated. When Sinatra's compound was dropped from JFK's itinerary in 1962, Sinatra blamed Lawford and exiled him from the Rat Pack. Once a golden boy of both politics and Hollywood, he became a pariah. Lawford remarried 3 times, each ending in scandal, debt, or addiction. He dated everyone from Jill St. John to Priscilla Presley, partied through the 1970s, and battled failing health caused by years of alcohol and drug abuse. He died in 1984, just 61 years old, but even death came with spectacle. His ashes were originally buried near Monroe's crypt at Westwood Cemetery. After a feud with the cemetery, his widow retrieved them and scattered them at sea, with a National Enquirer photographer present. It was an ending both tragic and theatrical, pure Hollywood right down to the flashbulb. The eldest child, Christopher Kennedy Lawford. Born March 29, 1955 in Santa Monica, Christopher Lawford inherited both sides of his family's legacy, fame and addiction. By 14, he was experimenting with LSD and opioids. By college, he was fully addicted. In 1980, he was arrested in Aspen after impersonating a doctor to get prescription drugs. But instead of another Kennedy scandal, Christopher turned his pain into purpose. He earned degrees from Tufts University and Boston College Law School, eventually becoming a recovery advocate for the United Nations, World Health Organization, and numerous American agencies. His memoir, Symptoms of Withdrawal, 2005, became a bestseller. "Opiates were my drug of choice, but anything that changed my consciousness was my friend," he wrote. On screen, he appeared in Frasier, General Hospital, All My Children, and even Terminator 3. Off-screen, he lectured to thousands about addiction and mental health, becoming one of the first Kennedys to publicly discuss substance abuse. Christopher died in 2018 of a heart attack in Vancouver. He left behind 3 children, David, Savannah, and Matthew, and a lasting message. Redemption runs deeper than dynasty. Sydney Malia Lawford McKelvy, the quiet anchor. Pat's second child, Sydney, was born in 1956 and inherited her mother's poise but not her appetite for publicity. In 1983, she married editor James Peter McKelvy at Hyannisport, far from Hollywood lights. She studied fashion and marketing and built a modest career in advertising before stepping back to raise a family. The McKelvys had 4 sons: James Jr., 1985, Christopher, 1987, Patrick, 1989, and Anthony, 1992. Though little is public about their careers, they've been described by acquaintances as grounded and family first. In a clan where every move makes headlines, Sydney's branch quietly proves that not all Kennedys need to live under a camera flash. Victoria Frances Lawford, Pender, 3 daughters and the DC years. Victoria, born in 1958, married Robert Beebe Pender Jr., choosing a steady East Coast life over Hollywood drama. They raised 3 daughters: Alexandra, 1988, Caroline, 1990, and Victoria Rose, 1993, in the Washington, D.C. area. Alexandra's 2018 wedding to Michael Thomas Attard was one of the few times this branch made the society pages. Otherwise, the Penders remain almost invisible publicly, a rarity among Kennedys. Insiders say Victoria focused on philanthropy, volunteering in community programs and local arts foundations, while keeping her daughters far from the family's old temptations. Robin Elizabeth Lawford, RFK's godchild who chose disappearance. The youngest, Robin Lawford, was born in 1961, with Robert F. Kennedy as her godfather. She appeared in early wire photos after undergoing childhood surgery abroad, but then vanished from public view. Reports claim she studied marine biology and lived mostly overseas, avoiding publicity entirely. There are no confirmed marriages or children, meaning all 10 of Pat's grandchildren descend from her 3 elder children. In a family where silence is unusual, Robin made it her shield. All the grandchildren, and a new kind of Kennedy. By the time Pat passed in 2006, her line included 4 children and 10 grandchildren. From Christopher, David, 1987, Savannah, 1990, Matthew, 1995. From Sydney and James Peter McKelvy, James Jr., 1985, Christopher, 1987, Patrick, 1989, Anthony, 1992. From Victoria and Robert Pender, Alexandra, 1988, Caroline, 1990, Victoria Rose, 1993. Born between 1985 and 1995, they represent a different kind of Kennedy legacy. Educated, private, and cautious. Most attended respected universities. Some work in finance, design, and nonprofits. None have pursued politics or Hollywood fame. While other Kennedy cousins have battled scandal or tragedy, this branch chose distance. No arrests, no addiction headlines, no paparazzi marriages. Just quiet lives scattered across the East Coast. In a dynasty obsessed with exposure, that silence might be the loudest rebellion of all. Great-grandchildren. A new generation in the shadows. Today, some of Pat's grandchildren have become parents themselves, though almost nothing about their children is public. No glossy magazine spreads, no new Camelot photos, just quiet family lives, perhaps the very thing Pat once wished for her children. For the Lawford branch of the Kennedys, privacy isn't just protection, it's survival.